recording.
Oh, we can always trim. Okay, here. Sorry. Go.
So this was actually, Joe was a little bit mistaken. This was actually one that I ended up staying up late for. This was again sort of still back in the days when we'd played around a little bit with the Flash the last time. We decided we wanted to try a full video one. We didn't have any of the tools that we're using these days.
But we did have a mini DV camera, which was pretty svet.
Yeah, so we were pretty excited about that, and again, whoever came up with the concept kind of eludes me these days.
Well, this is important to know. The timing of this party was pretty soon after our first one, but Vance and Nate were coming back from Thailand.
And
It's
Whit,
true.
I think, was actually
Whitney was coming back.
Whitney was coming home.
Yeah.
So we just thought that having a homecoming party was a pretty cool idea.
So we got thinking about sort of homecoming
And what song besides Boys to Men comes to mind?
It's true.
Really, no song.
And also, this is important to note is that we decided that the visual of two orcas locking mouths, it was about all we could stand, and it had to become incorporated. So this is kind of middle school dance taken to a sick and twisted level.
So Mooney is kind of doing shooting right now. You can look and see actually while Joey and I are dancing, already Berman and Cummings are making out in the background.
They just couldn't get their hands off each other.
The raw footage here, you can hear Smooney kind of directing as he walks around the room.
But he didn't really give us much warning, and it's also important to know that this was all done in one take.
It's
So
true.
we just kind of hopped into the room.
Oh.
Smooney started
I know
the
it's hard to
camera, and
believe it with this-
away we went.
With this acting,
Yeah.
but
And so
this is off the cuff.
Here, as Dunnigan turns around, we see an all-important figure in the early days of the executive ranch, which is the King Cobra 40-ounce bottle.
Where is that
Inflated.
these days?
Oh, I think it deflated.
It went
I
to
think it's
inflated
got-
Cobra
It
can
was
heaven.
floating in the pond for a little while.
The look of just bliss on Dunnigan's face at this point is really
That's the
astounding.
hottest-
pixelation. In
that's
this
the hottest
particular
girl I've
edition
ever danced
isn't,
with.
doesn't help
Yeah.
out.
And then as he came over, we realized that the camera was on us, so Cummings and I just stuck
The
our
snap.
faces together
That's the
really
snap
quickly.
Works so
That's
well.
the locking mechanism I was talking about.
Yeah.
And the hand,
They can't keep their
Is
flippers
that-
off of each other.
that must be Berman's hand because it's a left-handed
Yeah,
up
that's what
there, and it's.
We actually
You
should
can
do
tell that
better.
he really, really
I
loves.
really do care for Michael
We should-
Cummings.
It's true.
We should do more research trying to track where their hands are during this whole clip. I think the wandering.
And then
hands-
just the improv up on the leg and humping here by Cummings was just had to be seen to be
Yeah,
believed.
you can see me
Well,
sort of trying to get out, but in a way,
But
it's
not
all
really.
okay. Yeah. I gotta be honest though, it's a little weird. Our faces were extremely close together, but we were just laughing at each other. But through the orca costumes, there's like a little orca mouth window.
It has
where
this
you
kind
can
of
see each other.
uncomfortable air of this goes on for a little bit too long than you're comfortable looking to before we cut to these the little handmade graphics here.
Yeah, well,
That's
this is an
actually Coops'
interesting.
handwriting.
This is an interesting look into
That's not
the evolution of ranch digital video because the text here is clearly done with Flash.
Yeah,
And the video was done with what, Coops?
well, the video was actually done with QuickTime and then imported into Flash. It was a very frustrating experience. We ended up having the black text on white just for technical reasons, and there's the whole debacle with you have to download the video in order to be able to see it. It won't stream. It was a mess. Was the upshot. It took forever to get this one put together. It's a little bit of like a sophomore effort, I think. There's a lot of roughness around the edges and sort of the release process, but it's an important step in the evolution of the invitation.
Definitely.
I think.
And definitely endearing at
Yes.
the same time.
Yeah.
Without a doubt, my favorite part of this invitation is at the bottom of this screen. We'll remember this for the rest of our lives. Again,
Has nothing to do with you.
Our pretentiousness is right there. We're not really ashamed of it.
Except we never do. We never remember shit. from
No,
the
it's
party.
true.
That's
I
a
totally
good
remember
point.
all of that party.
I don't think this
Sort
one
of.
actually happened.
There's also this extended sort of look at the credit screen because we're trying to get to the point in the song where they
would
say
just get to the freaking
where
chorus.
they get to the chorus. But it takes a really long time for Boyz II Men to kind of work themselves up to that height of emotion.
But it's important to keep in mind that when this video came out, it was still groundbreaking.
Absolutely.
It's really easy
Full
to look
video
back
and an
have a lot of
invitation.
questions, but
And this is less. This is 3 weeks after our first party. Everyone's like, "Who are these guys, and why are they throwing parties every 3 weeks?"
Another good
We were
thing to
kind of asking
remember
those
when you're watching this invitation is the snap that we used to do whenever we were watching it being put together. Like, we'd always snap in time to the music getting us.
That's true.
Yeah.
That one wasn't so awesome.
We considered a lot of songs for use in this one, but Boyz II Men really won out.
It was
I think.
clear. It was
Yeah.
very clear.
Yeah, in some ways it's kind of the ugly stepchild of the Invites, but there's a certain
Therein
there's
lies
a certain
Something
amount
got
of
a
endearing.
charm to
Yeah.
it. I don't know.
A certain charm.
Little did we know what was on the horizon.
There's also an interesting the original invitation here clocked in at about 200 megabytes or something like that.
200 megabytes.
No.
200.
I believe it was 200 gigabytes, actually.
And then we cut it quite severely for the web, which was sort of our first foray into, a little bit of the digital video editing techniques that we ended up developing.
What he
really
meant was
highly.
digital trickery.
Yes,
Digital trickery.
developing very highly for the next couple of invites. So